In the Philippines, 70% of the students studying a minority of language are unable to talk and understand English, making it challenging for them to comprehend their own lectures. But kids will be more likely to comprehend and value the things being taught at school if they speak a language that is more familiar to them from their past schools. Millions of children have been exposed to the English language in all schools over the past few decades, selling like an old flavor of ice cream. The majority of us have really tried this ice cream, however, not everyone did. But these institutions made a concerted effort to teach this material to each student efficiently. English is the language we all speak. Yet my native tongue is Bisaya and Filipino. We must begin to discover our own, and this will help us discover alternate roots. As a result of our familiarity with the Filipino language, we are able to learn English.
Hello students, and welcome back to my online educational vlog. For those who are new, I am Marian A. Bayansao. You can call me Teacher Ann or Teacher Mary, and I apologize in advance to the unnecessary noises you would hear because I couldn't control nature. And in today's video, we will discuss development of the English language skills with the influence of culture, society, and school-based learning experiences. Keep tuned and don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons below. The ability to acquire a language is not one that kids either have or don't. In reality, a variety of internal and environmental factors ranging from the child's personality to the way language is taught at their school affect how quickly youngsters pick up a new language. Children learning a second language is similar to watching them take up swimming for the first time. Some kids go in head first and start paddling around the deep end. Some take their time, slowly stepping out from the coast and dipping a toe in the water. And that is all according to the article. It's normal to think that a child's ability to pick up new languages naturally. True, some kids do pick up language abilities more quickly than others, but that doesn't indicate that only a select few people have the potential to learn a language. Culture. Memorizing words and fundamental grammar rules is only one aspect of language learning. Building a conversation with a native requires more than what you can learn from a dictionary. You have a better chance of using the appropriate words at the appropriate time when you are more familiar with the persons you are talking or you are speaking to. You don't need to translate your native language's expressions into the new language after composing them. So just like us who are born to be Bisaya in native tongue, so we don't need to translate everything we have in mind if we know how to speak or we learn how to speak in English. There are some ideas you can communicate in English that you couldn't translate word for word into any other language. You'll discover new methods to describe these ideas through comprehending cultural variations as you learn a language. Language study requires an understanding of culture because gaining a grasp of cultural background including art, literature, and lifestyle helps you become fluent in the language and truly live it while you learn. Otherwise, you might as well continue with a computer translation that is illegible and stare at people in books. Society. But since every one of us has a unique perspective or perception, society regulates language by dictating to us what is acceptable and what is not. Our language may be acceptable to some individuals, but it may be offensive or insulting to others. We need to understand what to say, when, where, and how. Are parents who only speak one language able to assist their children when they need it? How much importance parents place on a learning on learning a second language also matters. Parents that place a high priority on language development are more likely to encourage their children to persevere through challenges. School-based learning. It can be quite challenging for language learners to identify opportunities to use English for communication when it's a foreign language, as they don't use it in everyday interactions. But more exposure to English would provide them with more chances to use it. Instructors can arrange meetings between devoted English users from specific groups or individuals, such as local immigrants or native speakers and students. They are able to describe their cultures and convey their experiences in English. Such activities might be carried out on a regular basis or a one-time activity. To events hosted for pupils at schools, teachers can also invite certain English-speaking parents, English-speaking course instructors, and English-speaking school teachers. Why not check how students' English language abilities are developing in relation to culture, society, and classroom experiences? Come and join me as I journey into the world beyond compare.
Online classes, pandemic strike, and being a Filipino for whom the culture includes learning the English language, I think that in certain world language courses, culture is neglected in favor of linguistic proficiency. In some cases, it's completely absent from the curriculum. Without cultural context, students are deprived of rich and interesting language learning experiences, which constitutes a neglected chance for student involvement. This is not how it ought to be. Language and culture are combined with the inefficient foreign language training. After all, we as future teachers work to develop in our students not just the language skills necessary for communication, but also curiosity, global awareness, and cultural competency. Despite the epidemic that give us this kind of setup, students like myself accept English language acquisition through culture. We Filipinos are able to persevere and still endure despite the challenges. We, the students, are still the most impacted by the pandemic. We are studying through an online platform which reduces our face-to-face social connection and yet deepens the online collection. Society indeed helped us upon developing English language, and with this pandemic and online platform, we were able to have a concept of learning English language through different social media platform. And with that, I believe that students like me are still able to learn despite of the boundaries and the pandemic. Even though the setup makes it tough to stay awake and pay attention to what is going on, school-based learning experiences can nonetheless help us communicate in English despite the language's challenges.
About language, I feel most comfortable speaking in my mother tongue, Bisaya. Kaya kung sa Binisaya pa, mas dali na akong magawa sa aking diba? The fundamental quality of a language is the ability of its user to comprehend and understand what is being said, as well as to know what they are reading and what I am saying. Yes, ma'am.
Let's see.
That concludes today's video. We'll see you in the following vlog. This is Marianne A. Bayansao once more. Have a beautiful day ahead, everyone, and stay safe. Wow, I just realized that I still belong to the group of students who are attempting to adopt and integrate English language into learning into our daily lives. It is clear that I have not yet realized my potential as a future English teacher and that there is still much space for improvement. I still need to put a lot of effort into my pronunciation, grammatical errors, and vocabulary. Also, I want to refine my way of writing. But I hope to be able to speak English fluently someday with the help of practice, the use of different teaching techniques to reinforce challenging rules, my learning environments including culture, society, and school-based learnings, as well as working on the languages specified with the aid of various exercises. As I improve my conversational English, I grew more confident and stopped worrying about making a mistake. Although the changes were not immediate and it took me some time to grasp the fundamental vocabulary and comprehend the spoken language, I came to the realization that I am still capable of learning English. And I hope that speaking English language someday will look like my native tongue.